Y'all, today's episode is going to be crazy. We have death rumors circulating from one of the most infamous political figures, Meteors, crashing in the northeast part of the country. And then on top of all of that, plus this situation in Iran, y'all want to be acting a fool down in Houston. Lord have mercy. We got a lot to cover today. And I am so happy that you are here. Today is Wednesday, March 18th. I'm Jessica. Welcome to Tell Me More. They want some raps, they want some beef. This K got a dot, and it's a Drake. Shit, if I get heated, get burnt with the pen, they feel like it's smoke, and it's a vape. What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's episode. We are on episode number 6, and I am so excited. Y'all, this is new for me. I am finally taking my YouTube journey seriously after a very up and down take at this, and I'm just so excited to be able to focus on it and just put all my ideas and my energy and my time into it like I've been wanting to for a really long time. Shout out to my hubby for making that possible and supporting me on my journey. He told me last night, baby, you a real YouTuber now. And so I've always struggled with consistency, so I'm just really excited to be on episode 6 in such a short period of time. Normally, it'll take me months to get from one episode to another. And this is my third in like the last 2 or 3 weeks. So, clap for me. Clap for being consistent. I appreciate all of y'all who have joined me on this journey. My subscriber count is growing fast, like faster than I imagined. And it's just really a testament to that age-old advice that consistency is key. It's not about talent, it's not about skills. It is truly about being consistent. So if there is something that you should be doing more consistently to get you closer to meeting one of your goals, take it from me that it works, from someone who has procrastinated and been inconsistent for almost a decade. It works. It does not take a long time when you are very sure about what you're doing, number one. But number two, when you're actually putting in that work. But I'll say that for a chat over on my marketing channel. If you didn't know, I am a marketing, branding, communication strategy consultant. I don't know, a maven in the communications and branding industry. And it has all been based on things that I've done in real life in my own career and journey. So if you are interested in that side and chats that involve that type of content, head over to my marketing channel. I have 2 facets of what I do. So I create content for fun and just because I enjoy commentary and lifestyle and that sort of space. But I also have a profession and a whole different business endeavor, which is really my main source of income over on this side that I have to nurture as well. But it's hard kind of balancing the two. So you're watching me also in real time figure it out and, have a real case study that I can come back and share with the people who are part of my marketing collective. But if that's something you're interested in, you can subscribe to my channel over there. But anyway, we got a lot to cover today. I only have 3 topics, really, 3 or 4. I think it's maybe 3. There are things that I really kind of want to go in depth with and just kind of take my time. I'm still experimenting with this, figuring out what works, how many topics I should do, how long I should spend on it. This is really some experimentation for me. So I want to put that out there also for people who are joining me. This is just one piece of the content that I want to offer. So, just be aware when you see some things that are outside of this kind of genre, so to speak. But anyway, if you enjoy my content and you want to support it, please consider becoming a member over on Patreon. I do have a free option. If you are not ready to spend those coins on your girl, you can just join for free. That really is my way of staying connected with you because we don't know what these platforms are going to do. So you can get it that way. Or you could also pay to support and receive the benefits that come along with that. But anyway, we're going to kick it off with some updates. And by the way, I'm stuffy. Like, I got a whole thing going on with my sinuses. I feel a lot of pressure behind my eyes. And I am really going through it, but I'm trying to push through again for the name of consistency. So excuse me if I sound nasally or if I look funny. Like, I am trying my best to keep it together. So pardon me for this episode. There are rumors circulating around Benjamin Netanyahu, who, if you do not know, is the prime minister of Israel. And as you know, the United States and Israel are in the middle of a conflict in Iran that seems to be going not very good. There's a lot of things coming out about this war. One of Trump's, I forgot what this guy, he was the head of something, but he was previously, or he is, a Trump supporter. He resigned and said that the war is unnecessary and he doesn't want to see lives lost over this. So there is a lot going on when it comes to that. And a lot of people believe that this is a distraction from the e-files being dropped and the things that people were discovering in them and what the media really could not ignore that was unfolding on social media. A lot of people believe that Trump decided to enter America into this war to get the focus off of that conversation, but there are also conversations about this being a larger part of a bigger picture to lead America down, not just America, but lead the world around some form of a reset and ushering in events that many people believe are apocalyptic, prophetic. I mean, it is a lot. And if you are like me and you are following it or trying your best to follow it and still do the things that need to be done, it is truly a struggle. We got to do our best to keep up. We don't need to be caught slipping in any form or fashion. And not to like fearmonger, I just mean that we need to be aware. We need to be ready so that we can prepare, especially those of us who are parents. So that is why I like to talk about these types of things over celebrity news or gossip and stuff like that. So if you are here, there is going to be much more of this in many other areas of interest. That being said, there's a lot happening with this Iran war. I think that this story is interesting and very important to a larger conversation. Netanyahu is, like I mentioned, the prime minister of Israel. He calls the shots. If you follow politics in any way, casually, or like you're on it, you know how much influence he has on the American government, especially Donald Trump. A lot of people are not feeling this war. They are speaking out about it. They are staying on top of it. And people are saying that this man could possibly be deceased. And when I saw that, I'm like, ain't no way. I can't believe that. It was really hard for me to believe that they had taken out Iran's leader. To hear rumors about this man and no like formal announcement, it just kind of sent my radar up. So before we go too deep off into it, I want to share a couple of videos just so that we can be on the same page. You can know what I know and see what I've seen and have an opportunity to go watch the videos in full. The videos that I'm showing will be in the description box. As a matter of fact, everything that I use is going to be in the description box. But that's also another reason why you should join me on Patreon, because I list them there as well and provide the downloads if it's a PDF or whatever. Let's get into this video by Kim and then we'll talk some more.
That is what a lot of people are wondering after a series of looks like AI generated videos were released after speculation that baby was dead. These are basically proof of life videos that the government of Israel has been releasing. The Prime Minister's office itself has been releasing these videos. We're going to go over those videos and point by point break down what is suspicious in each of them. But let's talk about what led to the speculation to begin with. So essentially, it was reported by the Iranians that they had killed or at least struck Bibi Netanyahu, so Benjamin Netanyahu, as well as there was reports that his brother, Edo, had also been killed, that basically they had struck the family home or Netanyahu's office. And in that strike, Netanyahu himself was taken out, either wounded or
So let me add, like, I haven't seen the source that she's talking about, but she's saying that these reports or this conversation, the whole reason it's even happening is because reports allegedly have come out of Iran saying that they attacked his home. The media has not covered that I have seen.
killed, that his brother was also wounded or killed. They'd also reported that the head of Mossad, David Barnea, was also killed. They've also reported that Ben Gvir was also, he's the Minister of National Security, that he was also taken out, and Tomar Bar, the Air Force commander. These rumors started circulating after the Iranians said, yep, we took them out. And we also hear from the Israelis, all of the people that they claim to take out on the Iranian side and with Hamas and all of these. And so the Iranians were doing the same thing. But of course, the Israelis adamantly claimed that this was not true. The only problem was we weren't really seeing Netanyahu. We weren't really getting, I mean, he would kind of disappeared. And so then the question was, well, if he's alive and if they're lying, then show us he's alive. And we started getting a little bit of trickling of maybe some reports that Netanyahu was doing things, but he hasn't been seen by the public in the same way that he's always been seen previously. So
I don't follow him. I don't follow any page of his. I don't follow news from that country specifically. I only watch a video here or there if I'm interested in, that other creators are putting out. So I don't know how much he is normally seen or not to be able to say it's weird, because there are a lot of politicians that you don't see out publicly all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're no longer here. So I really can't speak to that, but that's what the chatter is.
Do like televised addresses, press conferences from secure locations, in-person visits to military bases and troops, official photos, statements. There would be a lot of in-person with him and a lot of other people, but usually having to do with the military and building up morale or the security situation, not him out sipping coffee.
The video that Israel put out was not the typical video that they normally share of him. So they're not seeing him. Their people are not accustomed to seeing him, especially not during war, in these very casual videos. It's completely different from what the typical post of him or involving him has been. It is a video of him at a coffee shop. And even when I saw it, I thought that was strange because I've never seen him in any capacity other than like a press conference or an interview or, that type of thing. Never something like going to a coffee shop. But again, I don't follow him, so I don't know if that's normal or not. That's just how I was perceiving it.
These are the types of things that we did not see during the war with this onslaught of the Palestinians, and also we did not see this during the 12-day war. This type of, I'm just chilling, having coffee and chatting with some girls outside. So it's all very bizarre. What led to the speculation is that Iran says, we got him. People started to notice that they hadn't really seen Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, the last time that we did really see him truly was March 2nd. Netanyahu had visited the site of a Iranian ballistic missile strike in Bet Shemesh, which is just west of Jerusalem. And the strike killed about 6 to 9 civilians.
March 2nd was a little over 2 weeks ago. But I want to stop it here because the story is the story now. The story is important, but I wanted to talk more about what people are saying now that these videos have dropped. And I want to go to James Lee because he brought up some very interesting points as well. His video kind of focused more on what I want to focus on, and that is that it's looking like the videos that they shared of him are AI, which is deepening this mystery around what's actually going on with him with all of these different things circulating. I'm going to go to James's video now. Let's just take a look at this so that we can be on the same page, because AI is a problem. I have such a conflicting relationship with AI. I really do. I am so conflicted on it because I feel like as we use it, of course, it's already like embedded into so much that we do, from internet stuff to just going to a restaurant and there's some form of AI there, or the doctor or whatever. Like, it's embedded within society. To me, even though it's not different in one way, in other ways, that is different from actually using it. I feel very guilty when I use AI because I'm like, this thing is not good. For any good that it could bring, the bad completely outweighs it. That we could just do things in a more efficient way than we've been doing it, make some actual real transformational improvements, and go from there. At least make that effort. Let's not just give it all away to AI. But that's a whole different conversation. I want to talk about, if these allegations of these videos being AI is true, then there's a much more consequential conversation to be had here. But I want you to see these videos and judge for yourself, because they do look like AI to me. And that kind of gives me the creeps when I think about it too much. Like, also, before I go to that, I know I'm chatting, but I just have so much to say. But I want you to look at it and judge for yourself.
Holy shit, it does kind of look like his ring disappears right there. All right, let's talk about it. Is Benjamin Netanyahu no?
So I'm going to fast forward because he did show a photo that proved to be AI, and I just really don't want to show it. But there was a photo floating around of him allegedly being pulled out of rubble by Iranian soldiers. Turned out that photo was AI. It looked AI to me. So then it made me think, like, okay, well, is the Iranian side playing game? Because who would create this? Why would this be created? I knew that was AI, but that's what he's talking about. And I'm going to just fast forwarded to another video.
Yahoo's official X account, in which he said, quote, yesterday at the press conference, I stood by the clear objectives of the campaign, striking the terrorist regime of Iran, continuing the fight against its proxies, and ensuring Israel's security and future, yada, yada, yada. You know, whatever, Israeli propaganda. But people freeze frame the video, and it looks like he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers on his.
So if you look, I know this is small, but if you look here, you do see 6 fingers. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the thumb. So that is most definitely there. And at first, I thought that this was 6 fingers, but it very well could be that it's just this part of his hand, like the angle. It could, but it does. The proportion or the length of the fingers would then be the next question, to be able to like confidently say that that's what it was. But it does kind of look like 6 total digits. But the thing that really stood out to me was the curtain. So the curtains looked like they were moving, which if he was indoors, unless you have a fan on, the curtain shouldn't be moving. And if you did have a fan on that was blowing hard enough for the curtains to move, then surely your hair would move a little bit, maybe. I don't know, unless you had it gelled down. But those are just some things that I noticed, but I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Kind of weird. Grok is saying that amid Israel-Iran escalations in early March 2026, Iranian state media first amplified these unverified claims, death claims, following a missile exchange with Netanyahu's office and fact checkers like Snopes.
So it came from Iranian state media, basically their version of the FBI or the CIA. Some government-run media shared that basically they had handled him. The thing that stands out is that this video is being debunked. It's not AI. I want to just go to the next video, because one of the things that stood out about the next video was that it was his ring. And also just it being odd that he would be in a coffee shop.
מה שאלת אותי?
ראש הממשלה אומרים ברשת שאתה בכלל מת?
אני מת על קפה, אתה יודע מה? אני מת על העם שלי. איך הם מתנהגים, פנטסטי. אתה רוצה לספור את מספר אצבעות?
אתה יכול להראות לנו?
פה. פה. ראית?
יפה מאוד.
לחיים.
ראש הממשלה מסר לאנשים ש...
So one, I've never seen him being this nice in any video or being this personable. I would like to note about this one is that you hear that a telltale sign of an AI video is when the subject of the video eats or drinks. And I thought it was interesting that they would show or put out a video of him drinking, because that would make it look like it was even more real. People would say, well, if it was AI, he wouldn't have drunk anything. You know what I'm saying? That type of like reverse tactic there. Whatever he's saying is also like a play on or a joke about the death rumors. Let's go to Savvy Stab's video, because the US media is not really doing any investigation. This is another reason why people go to social media more than they do mainstream media. But instead of actually investigating these claims, the media is putting out news that this conversation is happening, as if we can't all see it with our own eyes. Maybe there are some who are not tapped in to know because they aren't following this particular situation, or they're not following these particular creators, but it's spreading and they're telling you it's spreading, but they're not saying we have a reporter looking into this or we reached out to so-and-so for comment. They're just telling you what you already know and putting their spin on it. In this case of this NBC News article that I'm going to show, their spin is that it was debunked. I'm going to read a little bit of this article. It was written by Angela Yang and published this morning. It reads, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has become the subject of a widely debunked but ongoing claim that he is dead, a particularly high-profile example of the clouded and exceedingly fraught information environment created by the mix of AI and social media. So they are saying these claims have been widely debunked. Now, I don't know by who they've been debunked, because most people are just getting messages in their social media feeds when they ask AI, and this, you could trace this tactic back to COVID. COVID was the test for a lot of things, because we have not even covered all of the fallout from that because it's being buried so much. But I digress. My point is, you want to, part of being media literate, which is a platform that I am going to introduce on my channel. I am really big on understanding the media, studying it, so you will not be deceived. Okay, first and foremost, and understand that when I'm saying deceived, I don't mean politically, I mean on a spiritual level, because at the end of the day, everything that we see happening is spiritual, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you can accept it or not. It is spiritual before it is anything else. And I ain't telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. Those of you who get it, you get it. And if you don't, I am urging you to think about what we are seeing from a different point of view, because none of it makes sense to us. Right? None of this makes sense, but yet it's still happening. So that lets you know that there is something deeper going on. But anyway, you see here, this news article is saying that it is widely debunked. I don't think something can be widely debunked if it's not widely discussed. You got to discuss it first on a wide scale for it to be debunked. But when you look up articles on this topic, this was just written today. When you look up articles on it, it's just telling you that this conversation is happening. We don't see any experts analyzing the video. We don't see none of that. So has it really been debunked? You want to throw in that this environment is caused by AI and social media, but it also is caused by censorship, political agenda. So there's a lot going on with this that you can't just say that this has been debunked. One, you have not done I haven't seen an AI expert break this down. If you have, let me know in the comments. If you are an AI expert and can identify whether or not a video is really AI, let us know in the comments. But my point here is we should also question the media. We can't just take what the media says at face value. And it's not about Republicans versus Democrats, because they're all on the same agenda. Hence, this coverage. But they'll tell you that people are so against it, but when you could actually touch on something that would be consequential, you don't. And then you say it's something else. So People are playing both sides with this. Social media users began to speculate about the Israeli leader's well-being after footage of a recent televised address began circulating online last week, in which Netanyahu gave an update on the war in Iran. Now, we haven't seen this one yet. The one that they're talking about, we haven't seen this one yet. But in that video, you see Netanyahu basically at a round table. I want you to see it. So let me get her video pulled up.
Because we still don't know if Benjamin Netanyahu alive. They keep releasing videos and photos, right, of Benjamin Netanyahu, but you can check and see if it's real or not. In this video that was released today, he's talking about like that they killed some of the people in this one, but he says, I'm here with the Israel defense minister and chief of staff, right? But then I'm going to show you what comes up when you search this. Watch this.
I'm here with Israel's defense minister, our chief of staff, the head of the Mossad, the chief of Air Force, our senior commanders. In the past 24 hours, we knocked out 2 of the terrorist chieftains, the top terrorist chieftains of this tyranny. Our aircraft are hitting the terror operatives on the ground, in the crossroads, in the city squares. This is meant to enable the brave people of Iran to celebrate the Festival of Fire. So celebrate and Happy Nowruz. We're watching from above.
So one thing that stood out to me about that video is that he doesn't mention their names. I thought that was important. But then this guy, the savior, he said, this is getting ridiculous at this point. You can take these images and insert them and check them, right? When is this image from?
I stand corrected. I thought that Grok did that. So apparently he may have done this elsewhere outside of X.
It's from an Israeli war cabinet meeting held on October 23rd, 2023 at the Kiryat military headquarters in Tel Aviv. The photo depicts a high-level security assessment and press briefing shortly after the formation of the emergency unit government following the October 7 attacks. This was released on Benjamin Netanyahu's account today. This video was released today, March 17th.
So this kind of like makes me think about, I tell people this all the time, like, is you can admit that we are in some sort of awakening. Knowledge has increased so much over the last decade. Honestly, it has. It has increased a lot since I had my awakening, if you want to call it that my spiritual journey that opened my eyes to what's really going on. Even since then, I've just seen the knowledge increase because things that people were talking about way back when are starting to happen now. It is unfolding. And if you read or study the Bible, then the Bible talks about things that are happening now that we see, that there would be a great falling away. We see a pattern when it involves Israel of coming into who they are. And if you catch my drift, you know what I mean when I say that's happening. We're seeing things even that the Bible spoke about. So there's a lot to take in, okay? I just want to say, like, as we're watching it, because I have to do this and remember this too, like, we got to stay in our word. We got to stay prayed up. We got to fill our minds with good things to counter all of this crazy stuff that we're seeing. Because if we don't, it'll have us down bad. I've been there and I ain't trying to go there again. I will stop talking about this stuff online before I let myself go back there. Okay, if you know, you know. But we just gotta cover ourselves while we are taking this in. But basically, we're seeing just this awakening happening where folks are starting to see the truth. And I always said that when this starts to happen, like as it's happening, as conversations are ramping up, now you can't get online without somebody talking about witchcraft or the elites or secret societies or this and this. Just all of this scandalous stuff is now common to be in a conversation. Whereas 5-6 years ago, the average person was not talking about this stuff. So that should let you know something. The conspiracy theories are becoming more credible and the conversation is spreading. But now you got to ask yourself, are they still conspiracies? And that brings me to a theory that I have. I believe, honestly, because I keep thinking about how are spiritual events and stuff supposed to unfold? Like, it's not just gonna happen instantly. It has to happen over time. Because the Bible just gives us all these indications that life is gonna be going on as normal. People are gonna be dancing and drinking. So that tells you that the signs have to be spread out and maybe not so obvious. And I believe that as we start to make these things more known, Satan knows that his time is short. So he'll pull the internet off. They'll cut us off from the internet before some of these things get exposed. And I'm bringing it up because I know it seems like I went around the world, but when it comes to this situation, the reason why we can even be having this talk is because of the internet. Now we have receipts. When something is posted, we can pull it, we can download it, we can screenshot things, we can go access websites that keep archives and things that have been like, you can't, when something is created, there's always, the original is always going to exist. And no matter how much you replicate it, alter it, change it, whatever. And that's a word for Black folks. The original is always going to exist. So all these counterfeit things, that is what the devil does. So AI is just an example of that. Like, yes, y'all clearly, this thing, the fact checked it and said, oh, this came from 2023. Or not 2023, but sometime in October. But yet they're telling you today that there was a meeting that he had. And the only reason we can even see that is because of the internet. So why wouldn't they cut off the internet? So this is just something that's just been on my spirit, to get hard copies of things, to get all the hard copies you can get, pictures, books, print your PDFs, get a hard drive, back up files, because I just don't see them letting this get any more, keep continuing to get big and totally ignoring it, by the way, or debunking it. At some point, we got to start getting some answers, or you got to take the situation for what it's looking like. That's all I'm saying. So we're seeing that, and I'll put this video in the description box if you want to go watch it in its entirety. But basically, they're putting out stuff that it may not even be real. So that brings me to my conversation about AI. You really can't even believe your eyes anymore. You can't believe what you are seeing anymore. And you cannot rely on the media to tell you that what you're seeing is not real, not if it fits the agenda that they are supposed to push. And that's why I mentioned, if you are new here, these are some of the things that I will be getting into in my content. I found an archive of the Black Panthers newspapers. And if you know me in the slightest, if you've watched any of my political or Black community related videos, y'all know I love my community. And part of my love for my community, it grew during the pandemic, is because God took me on this journey that really just kind of brought a lot of things home to me. He made so many things clear that I've just thought and felt my entire life. And so I want to talk about the Black community specifically in my content, and looking at how what we're facing, we continue to see things. It's the same plays. Like, we have document after document after document to prove that the way that we've gone about handling our issues is not working. And we got to open our eyes to things bigger than what stuff looked like at face value. And so this is just one of those things, and why archiving history, knowing history, is important. Because if you can't believe what you see, then you're only going to be able to rely on what you have physically in front of you to prove it. Receipts. We are in the era of receipts. So you need to be getting your receipts on what's going on in the world, because I just believe they'll turn the internet off before they see we see a full redaction of the JE files. I'm surprised that they even have it to begin with, to be honest. But you gotta know that they don't want this stuff to be seen. And if they're gonna suppress it, how do we just go back acting like everything is normal? How do we not try to advocate for some type of legislation protecting us and our children from AI? Whether it's economically, with finances, job availability, or hell, even if it's physically, they got robot cops, which they do have in China. I saw the video. That's something I want to talk about too. AI, the way that it has just been allowed to be like the wild, wild west, and everybody get what you can get free for all, that has to be for a reason. And I think it's to desensitize us, to confuse us, but also to get our submission into whatever direction that it goes. That's why I have a conflict about it. But we can't believe our eyes anymore. And this situation also makes me think about, if you can remember when this conversation was happening around Princess Kate, people were asking, where is this woman? We ain't seen her. Y'all didn't even wish her a happy birthday on the official Twitter account. We getting rumors that an ambulance was seen driving away from the place. The kids ain't been seen, or we saw the kids, we didn't see her. Or there was a woman with William, but it didn't really look like. There was a whole thing, and they came out with a video that was clearly AI. So what does this mean when your news want to investigate it and they're just saying, oh, it was debunked, it's misinformation, they say he's alive, they're the official people? But what if they're lying? Don't we deserve to know the truth, since this is affecting our life? It's like the government has just become so powerful, and we have forgotten that they are supposed to work for us. They've become celebrities and big political figures that just are above critique if they're on the same side that you want them to be on, or if they're on the same side as you, even though they might be terrible individuals. Like, we got some real issues here. And, not to just get all sinister and get all just, down in the dumps. This really is to motivate us to just think about this differently, and what impact can we make? So there are a couple things that's going on here. He could be deceased. All this could be true, and they want to keep it under wraps for whatever reason. And the reason is really even questionable. Why would you want to keep that under wraps? Because what else are you plotting? Or what would happen if people knew that he was? But then he could be alive. Some people think that he's alive and that he has fled and he's out, living incognito, or he's in hiding, but we don't know. And it's an uncomfortable place to be in as someone who is following this story and just following this political issue. But this is where we are, and I just wonder, what do we do? Like, how do we just sit and allow things to happen and people to make decisions about our lives that's going to affect us and affect our children in ways we can't even comprehend? Remember, everything is a prediction. You can't say with certainty what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. We're not God. We don't control every single thing. So we don't know how this is going to pan out, but we can't I just don't like the feeling of helplessness. Like, I'm not in control of my own destiny when it comes to other human beings. I'm not talking about with God. I'm talking about with other human beings. Everybody on this earth is a human being like me. So what gives you more right, or the right to make decisions about the whole world, as if what we say in our own life don't matter? That's where I'm at with it. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about this story. I have talked an hour about this. Oh my gosh, that is insane. This is going to be the biggest video file ever. But we're going to go on to the next story. The rest of these I guess could be a little short. I don't know. But if you are enjoying this show so far, please do give me a like. Also, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my uploads. This is part of the Fool Tell Me More show, but we're going to be moving it live. I've talked about that extensively. But for now, we're still doing full episodes as live recordings here on YouTube. But anyway, this next story is coming out of Ohio and Pennsylvania. Did y'all hear about the Meteor that hit Ohio and was seen in 6 different states. No, it says 10 states, at least 10 states, that this was apparently a rare daylight meteor and it made a sonic boom noise. Whew, y'all. It's too much going on. It's too much. If I would have heard that, as scary as oh Lord have mercy. This is why I just pray. I pray all day long because who would have thought they'd be riding down the street and a meteor just fall? It's crazy. But this video is coming out of NBC News. Let's check it out and then we'll talk about it.
Tonight, meteoric levels of confusion in Cleveland after a loud boom rang through the region, frightening the pets in this person's backyard and stopping drivers in their tracks.
Oh, what the was that?
The fireball also spotted as far away as Pittsburgh, streaking through the sky.
Do y'all, oh my goodness.
Anyone that's in Northeast Ohio, did you hear the loud boom?
It sounded like a freaking bomb went off in the Cleveland area.
NASA says it was a meteor fracturing into small pieces when an asteroid nearly 6 feet in diameter and weighing around 7 tons entered the atmosphere.
The ground beneath my feet was no longer stable.
Ralph Harvey studies planet.
Y'all, that is insane. I would have passed out. I already be like, my husband think I am nuts, but I already be like sitting in, I'll be sitting on the couch and laying in the bed, and I'll just be like, what if something just came crashing down? I don't know. Like, I always sit and just, I get like, what? I get real paranoid at night because I'm on edge from all this crazy stuff that's going on. But oh my goodness, if you are in this area that's being featured where this meteor hit, please let me know in the comments what that was like. That is crazy. Now I know it's probably floating around on TikTok and stuff like that. I'm not on TikTok. TikTok was having too many issues. It got too many issues going on over there. And I wasn't really active anyway. I did not look in the app much because when I did, it was like I couldn't put it down and I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like what it did to me. So I was like, all this drama with TikTok, I'm just going to delete it. So I don't get to see things as they're trending on TikTok unless one of my creators that comes across my feed on YouTube happens to talk about it. And so I didn't know that this happened. Now I do follow this guy that does space weather. I know, don't judge me. But I like to follow a variety of people. It's not even always about the personality, more than it is about you are just the one talking about something I'm interested in and I can't find nobody else. Or I might like their personality or the way that they share their content, but I'm very much a person who follows creators because of certain topics. And so I just think space weather is interesting. I didn't realize how much it plays a role in what actually happens on Earth, although that would make sense. I just never really thought about it. And I think he did mention this, but I've been kind of avoiding his content because he's been slightly clickbaitish and it just makes me anxious. So I've avoided him, but I did see him mention this about this meteor and this is crazy. Let's finish the video.
Materials like these at Case Western Reserve in Ohio.
We're just basically talking about space debris that's falling into the Earth's atmosphere, right? Why don't we hear about this kind of thing more?
Well, the main reason is it's actually more common than most people think. What's different about this one is it came during daylight hours right over a major metropolitan area.
So it turns out.
What are we, dinosaurs?
It's nothing prehistoric or even life-threatening.
There is a huge comet headed towards Earth.
Just a fiery moment shaking up some shocked Ohioans. Sam Brock, NBC News.
That's crazy. So a lot of people apparently saw this meteor, and I'm just wondering, could it be prophecy related? I think everything is related to it because the Bible does talk about signs in the skies, the sun, the moon, so I don't know, like they're just Oh, that's too much, too much. I'm glad that did not happen here, but I'm happy nobody got hurt. I haven't seen any reports of anybody being hurt. But like this comment here says, it says with everything happening in the world, I wouldn't be surprised if it was not a meteor. A lot of people are not believing that it was a meteor, that it could be something else. They're asking, I want to see a video where it crashed. Someone said it didn't crash, it dissolved. Okay, well, what was the boom? It was the sound, breaking the sound barrier. So a lot of scientists and people who know about science and space are, letting people know it's not like, let's not run away with this here. So let me know what y'all think about this story, or if you felt it or live in the area. I saw somebody comment on my video, I think it was today, that said that they were from Ohio. So if you're watching this, let us know if you heard this. So we are gonna go to the next story. What is going on in Houston? First, Mama Tina and her voodoo gumbo. And now we are hearing that the Houston Rodeo had to implement a dress code. Now we're going to get to the spring break of it all that's going on in Houston that has terrorized the residents. That's going to be after the break. But right now, I want to talk about the rodeo. So I've been seeing the posts, like I'm sure many of you have, about spring break in Houston. And I talked about Mama Tina and her gumbo at the rodeo last week. So I was aware that there was a lot going on in Houston. I didn't realize the rodeo was still taking place. But apparently, some of the outfits that women mainly been wearing to the rodeo have been so inappropriate that the rodeo has had to institute a dress code. I actually have not really seen a lot of the rodeo, the outfits themselves, but I saw the controversy that was happening with it all, because there was actually a news segment that there was a dress code that was implemented. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just saw that it was the spring break stuff. What's going on at the rodeo that they're beginning to implement a dress code? So let's look at that video first, and then we're going to take a look at some of what was out there at the rodeo. I had an experience over the weekend with a dress code situation. So this is not just a Houston problem, but let's see what happened.
Every single March, but this year, not just for the concerts and the competition. So this has a lot of people talking. After several weekend incidents forced the carnival to close early on Saturday, officials, they're clarifying expectations on the rules, and that does include revised dress code. So McKenna Earnhardt is live at Energy Park with what you need to know before you head out to the gates. You probably need to fix your wardrobe if it's a little skimpy.
Yeah, as you ladies know, fashion is always a huge part of the rodeo. But this year, a different trend has been going viral. Pictures and videos circulating on social media of what people are calling more club wear than rodeo wear. And so we've got those photos here for you. If you
She's having the time of her life reporting stories. She is so excited.
take a look at your screen, we blurred them, but you'll see what kind of sparked this conversation. So rodeo officials are emphasizing that this is and always has been a family-friendly event. The updated policy states that any clothing deemed inappropriate or showing excessive skin could result in you being turned away at the gate or asked to leave. The policy also bans any clothing, tattoos, or accessories with gang affiliations, and face coverings are prohibited unless they are for cultural, religious, or medical reasons.
Back in school, they would tell us,
So they have implemented a dress code at the rodeo. Now, this is a very clean report compared to what was going on social media. And the news did good with this, because some people are trying to make it a race issue. So I see that they put pictures up that wasn't not just Black women. So apparently this is not just a Black woman's thing. So one creator did mention it in her video, And I was like, I don't know. I ain't seen none but black women, but that's just because of my algorithm. So apparently this was a issue with women across the board. So I want to actually go to that video that I just mentioned, where they actually show some of these outfits.
But I just saw a man, bare booty ass.
I'm outside at the rodeo, and a new ick has been unlocked. When you see a girl with like shorts on or a skirt and her...
Why are y'all coming to the rodeo with club clothes on? Like,
man, so I'm just coming from the rodeo with my son, right? And it was booty meat down. I mean, it was booty meat down.
Apparently, the Houston Livestock Show.
Y'all, the people are appalled at all of the clothing that people are choosing to wear. And again, like, I'm gonna be honest, my family and I, we went out to eat this past weekend, and I was like, why are so many people out to eat? Like, everywhere we went, the wait was an hour. And I'm like, I thought the economy was bad. I thought people was broke. I'm seeing all these videos of people broke. Why is everybody out to eat? Like, why can't we just go somewhere and eat? We were so over it. We was just about to like say, forget it, we going back home. But I was like, no. I told my husband, I'm like Clark Griswold in National Lampoon's Vacation. No, we came out to eat. I got dressed and I got up. We gonna eat somewhere. So we ended up at one of our favorite seafood spots because our kids had never been there and eaten on the inside. We had, but we'd never taken them. And so we wanted them to go. And the place had a paper basically saying we have a dress code, no pajamas, no this, no that. And I'm like, why does this have to be said? And then as we're sitting there, we like, oh, we saw booty, stomach, breast, and I'm just like, yeah, listen. We confidence is not the issue here. I just wouldn't even feel comfortable just having my cheeks out, like for everybody to see where my skin is touching everything. Like, how do you have your booty out in public? It is and it's not just the restaurants. When we tailgate, this is the thing too. It got to the point where we just started leaving our kids at home because you got grown women with their nasty looking booties hanging out of skirts, hanging out of t-shirts. Some women was wearing t-shirts, hanging out of shorts. It just looks stank. And you don't want to see it. You definitely don't want your kids to see it. So I can only imagine what was going on at this rodeo because of the theme itself. A lot of people have made the theme raunchy. So let's keep watching.
And so I'm just coming from the rodeo with my son, right? And it was booty meat down. I saw a young lady. She might as well have just took the damn shorts off. She had 2 quarter-pounder just sitting out. And I'm like, well, if I was a lady and I had all that, I wanted to breathe too. It's hot as hell out here. But golly, it's a time and a place. I thought this was the Rodeo Magic City collab.
And when you have a man saying this, you know it's bad. Because listen, people call you a pick me for saying stuff like this these days. We can't even tell the truth no more. But traditionally, like, most women can say my body, my choice, I can wear what I want to wear all they want. But no woman in her right mind wants to put her body out there like that just because she can. Because this ain't about free will. We all have free will. You can do what you want to do. Yeah, but does that mean you should do it? And some things that we want to do, we got to ask ourselves why we want to do it, especially if it goes against what is considered the norm or safe, or, maybe if it's a little kink, it's you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to question our behavior sometimes. So you can say my body, my choice all you want, but most women are dressing provocatively and skimpy to attract men. It is what it is. Stop lying about that. You're not gonna tell me it's just because I look good and I want to show it. No, you are trying to get attention. Period. I'll never forget one of my exes. He was texting a girl after the club, but he sent it to me by mistake, and he was telling her, you know why you put that dress on? What you think was gonna happen? You knew that when you put it on. And I'm like, oh, who you talking to? But anyway, that you're putting that on because you want somebody to look at you. Because why else would you not wear clothes? Like, why would you walk at the house and we all know what it feels like to walk in our underwear. Why would you feel comfortable doing it in public? I cover up in front of my children. It's about appropriateness. It's about manners. It's about class. And there are levels. Like, yeah, showing a little skin, if that's what you want to do it. Showing a little cleavage, if that's what you want to do it. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about seeing butt cheeks. I see butt cheeks. I see stomach and breast and things that should be covered, or keep that in the bedroom. We don't want to see you like that. We ain't trying to see all that. So let's just call it what it is. You're doing it for attention. And when you get that attention, but it's negative, like in the case of what's happening now, then you want to call it something else. But no, let's be real. You want the man to look at you. So the fact that the ones you want to look at you and who want to see it in the right situation, let's keep that honest too. If they're saying put it up, you know it's bad. People draw the line with most people with sense, common sense, and who are healed and intact and whole, and even those that's halfway all of that. Most people draw the line when it comes to kids. Most parents who really care about their kids and not doing this stuff themselves, they're going to see that. And as liberal as they may be, as free as they may be, when it comes to the kids, it's like, whoa, we don't want to show them that. They're children. We still believe in children not seeing things. We still believe in discretion. So the average person is not going to want you flouncing your booty cheeks in front of their child. So the fact that this even has to be said, it just shows where we are as a society, and goes back to what I said earlier. We have to admit that the things that we've been doing are not working, because look at how people are degrading themselves. People don't respect themselves anymore, to the point where a ruling body has to come in and tell you as a grown person what you can and can't wear, because you ain't got enough sense to know it yourself. This is bad. This is not cute. Not cute at all.
Wait, do y'all not have any shame? I'm talking about left, right cheek, just out. What bruh say? I think bruh said in that video, the bootio. This shit turned into the bootio, y'all.
I'm walking around the rodeo, and I'm thinking to myself, the rodeo then became the bootio. I done seen so many women walking around here as cowgirls wearing shorts all the way up to their booty, cheeks, shorts, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, is we at the club or is we at the rodeo? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't complaining. It's a beautiful sight to see. Ladies, y'all look good. You know what I'm saying? I love it. But come on, man. We got kids walking around here, man. You know what I'm saying? What you supposed to tell your kids when you got a woman walking around with her all out as a cowgirl, and they be like, Mommy, Daddy, why that girl got her butt all out? What you supposed to tell them? You can't. You know what I'm saying? The rodeo has become the bootio.
Now, this is crazy. This is crazy, because I'm like, this is where women, y'all that were out there dressed like this, y'all got to take your L. You got to take your L. Like, women get online every single day, all day, every single day, every day of the week, month, and year. Women get on all kinds of every social media app and talk about how men are trash and men don't do this and men don't do that. And this time, the men, they got more sense than you. Because for someone to be so, like, He looked like he was just he couldn't even get the words out fast enough. That lets you know how much of a problem that it was. That I just find it like, say what you want about what I'm saying if you don't like it, but as a woman, I don't ever want a man to tell me, baby, you need to put some clothes on. Like that would be, I would feel like I would be so ashamed that I was not thinking of myself in such a light that I would be looking away where I'm attracting a negative attention or a negative look. Like I don't ever want, I care about my reputation. I care about what I look like. Who I'm representing my husband and my children, my family. Like even I don't even be wanting my family to see certain things. Like I consider that stuff. That may not be you. I'm just saying because I don't ever want to be an embarrassment to myself first and foremost, and not my loved ones, not my children, not my husband. It must have just really been bad. That's like that. It must really be bad.
This is crazy work, but hey, I ain't complaining, but hey, just remember, we got kids out here.
I'm outside at the rodeo, and a new ick has been unlocked. When you see a girl with like shorts on or a skirt, and the bottom of her ass cheeks are hanging out of the skirt or shorts, that is an ick. Why do you need attention that bad?
There needs to be a dress code because of some of the outfits that y'all was wearing this year. And I just want to say that they absolutely right. Y'all showed y'all ass literally.
Why he
I genuinely think y'all forgot the whole purpose. It's a carnival. Who does carnivals appeal to? Kids. It's not.
So maybe a lot of the carnival rodeo goers this year, maybe because the boots and cowboy hats theme is so popular, it's really played at this point. Like we saw it just about in every episode on Potomac. I believe the ladies of the Housewives of Atlanta had an episode. There was an episode for Married to Medicine, I think. My baby dance school got a boots thing. Like everybody doing a boots thing. It's that damn boots on the ground. It still got everybody in a chokehold. So I think a lot of people probably just kind of got caught up in a moment, like, oh, this is a rodeo. Like, this is my time. If you missed any of the cowboy boot and cowboy hat, cowgirl party, this was your time to shine. So maybe some people just went all out, not realizing what type of event that this was. But I'm kind of like, this is becoming a deep dive. But I do want to talk about spring break too. So we don't have a sponsor for this episode, but so we probably won't take a break. I don't know. I'm gonna see how I'm feeling, but I don't want to get too deep off in the dress code because I really want to talk about spring break. But it's all involving Houston, so we just gonna keep things going.
No reason that 75% of your ass should be out your shorts at a carnival, bro. There's so many places in Houston where you can go and get that same outfit. Why are you doing that around kids, around elderly people? Nobody want to see that, bro. Tighten up.
Honestly, I don't know why everyone is acting shocked. This imagery has been pushed for years. Like, this is nothing new. I remember being in college and young girls, well, I was young too because I was in college, but I just remember freshman year, I would never forget, there was a girl in my class and she had on a white tank top and she was talking to the professor and the professor couldn't even answer her question.
So I went to an HBCU, so fashion was definitely a big deal. I don't know when she went to college. I was in college, undergrad in 2006. That was my freshman year. So we did have our moments. I think I probably dressed more provocatively in grad school. That was like 2010. But we did have our moments in college where we wore the short shorts, we wore the skin tight dresses. I mean, listen, that's before you had kids. That's your time, baby. That's when you in your prime. You know, I get it. I wore my little outfits too. There are some outfits I look back on like, girl, what was you thinking? Like, there was too much. There was too much. But now that I'm older, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I am conscious of how I dress, and I like to stay covered up. I don't know. I just have a higher level of respect for myself than I did then. I'm just keeping it honest. Like, we have to call things what they are, because we do have little girls that are looking up to us. And this is part of the problem. Like, it's okay to have freedom and to exercise your free will and to go through things. That's how you become who you are. But there are some things that we should avoid. And no, the way you dress is not going to make you or break you, but it is a bigger picture here. It's about self-respect. It's about decorum. It's about being appropriate. It's about being good role models. It's about respecting the people around you who did not ask you to see your booty today, who don't want to see your booty or touch it, or who just don't want to be exposed to it. And then it's also a hygiene issue too. How you sitting on benches, and you sitting in your car with your booty cheeks, or you sitting on a ride? Do y'all have shawls or jackets? I don't know. But to her point, we have been surrounded by that type of imagery, but and as I was coming up as a teenager, it was the type of thing that you saw on TV in the music videos. It wasn't something that we were going to events and seeing. Not for me growing up. Now, again, like I mentioned, we saw it this weekend. We tailgate, so we see it there. Like, we're starting to see it more, but it was not always like this. So that means something shifted in society. Something shifted in what we consider to be acceptable socially. And that's how we got here.
Because she had nipple rings. She had nipple.
Okay, so I really want to see the reaction videos. Let me also say this. Like, I'm not a fan of reaction content. I feel like if you are going to react, give me commentary. I hate the videos where they just showing the video and they just sitting there. I hate that. It's so lazy. You're basically coming up off other people's content. So I do not want to be like that. I don't want to be a lazy creator and just react. So, but to my point about TikTok, I don't know where these videos are. So this is the only place I have them. So shout out to the creator. Her full video is going to be in the description box if you want to go back and watch it, because she does make some great points. But I'm really just here for the rodeo outfit so we can go on to the next topic.
I'm seeing constant videos of people talking about the girls are having too much out in the Houston rodeo. Now y'all want to talk about it's a family event and blah, blah, blah. It's so funny. This is one of those things where y'all always come around to the men's way of thinking. Men are always talking about y'all got us out in the most inappropriate ways. And y'all love to say, first thing y'all love to say, men predatory, y'all need to have self-control, need to stop telling women what to do with their bodies. But all of a sudden now it's a rodeo, y'all kids out there, now it's inappropriate. It's the same exact shit. Y'all just feel as though, per usual, only women can talk about that because it's y'all be having
also he said predatory, and I saw in one of the comments some people feel like women dressing like this is predatory. It could be seen very suspect from the point of view of a young boy. It is super inappropriate when you think about it that way. And I know that's not the subject of what he's saying, but when he used that word predatory, it made me think back to that comment. But I do want to hear him out. And then we're going to move on to spring break.
Most inappropriate ways. And you think only you can speak about it.
Exactly. And that's why I don't understand why people are confused. Someone commented on this young lady's post. She posted this on Threads, and somebody commented this. Let me go ahead and pull the comment up because I don't want to misquote her. I've never been to the Houston rodeo, but I thought this was like freaknik. And this is the photo that was posted. And even if you never heard of the rodeo, you can just read the room without ever going to the rodeo. If you look in the background of this picture, all you see is kids. There's children. They look like they're going to two different events. Do y'all see all these kids in the background? And again, I know it's no one's responsibility to parent other people's children, but I feel like if we are going to a kid-friendly event, y'all should be wearing kid-friendly attire.
Yeah, and you can't have it both ways either. Because people will say, we're not responsible for parenting your kid. But then they'll also say, protect children. Which way is it? Or you will say, we need a village, or where's the village, or I'm not responsible for parenting your kid, but you can't tell me that I can't say nothing about being a parent. Like, people try to take all sides of an argument, and no one's asking you to pay. If for those that think that this is what this is, nobody's asking you to parent their children or be responsible for their children. But if you're in a public place that is family friendly, then it's on you to have enough sense to think about the audience, think about who's going to be around. And if you're okay with dressing like that in front of a child, then we have to reasonably question what's wrong with you. Just like if it was a man, you would want to question him. Why would you want to expose yourself to children just because you can? That's weird behavior as well.
I would hate to have a child right now, and I would have to explain to my child why you're wearing a bikini top and cowgirl boots. Like,
I'll say this about my children. My children, they're very like they just are weird. They are like they on another level. We have these conversations with our kids beforehand if we believe that we'll see something, or if they happen to see something or say something. Like I follow, I'm not gonna say I follow his teachings, but if you are familiar with Dr. Neely Fuller, who was he recently passed away. He was a Black scholar, and he wrote papers, and he was a psychologist, I believe. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but anyway, one of the things that he teaches when it comes to like what we should be telling our children, it specifically to him, is like his area was racism, but I believe it still applies. His philosophy is if a child is old enough to ask you a question about something, you should tell them. Now, you should give them an honest answer in a child friendly way. So we try, if it happens that our children bring it up, we will have that conversation in a way that is appropriate for them. My husband is so much better at that than me. I'll be going too far with what I say, but we haven't. Once I saw like what was going down at the tailgate, I just stopped taking them. Instead of just having them in this situation, because they didn't have to be there anyway. And then with crowds, we don't like to put them in crowds like that. But when we were at the restaurant, they didn't really say anything. But I did tell them like, don't stare. Like I know it's a lot, but don't stare. We don't go into specifics of, you're supposed to wear these and these, because they already know that. But so when we're out, we just like, hey, eyes over here. That's how we handle it.
It does not make sense. Like this is honestly astonishing. And if you zoom up in the back of these photos,
she does. That's all regarding the rodeo outfits. But I do want to encourage you to go watch her full video, because she makes up some points about modesty and women who don't dress modestly, and she has some good takes. She actually earned a subscribe from me, so I'm gonna go back and watch that full thing too. But if you want to see it, the link is in the description box. And we're going to get to our main topic for today, which is spring break. So we are still in Houston with this one, but this time we are talking about spring break and all of the foolishness and the horror stories that are coming out of Houston for spring break. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not know that Houston was a spring break destination. Now, to be fair, I've been out of college since 2012. So I think spring break is for college, or if you go as a family. When I think spring break, I think beach. You know, we went to Miami for spring break. A lot of people I know, they love going to Panama. I never got to go to Panama for spring break. I can't believe I went through college and grad school and never got to go to Panama. I have heard some stories about Panama. I got a crazy story about Panama. I wasn't there, but I'm gonna just leave it there. I didn't know people went to Houston, but apparently they did for this year, and a lot of other people were confused too. But the spring break was crazy because it seemed like everybody that was in a certain age group decided they actually were gonna go to Houston. So I just wanted to play a few of these videos, talk about it a little bit, because now there's this conversation emerging that those of us who are like shocked by what we're seeing, that we somehow acting brand new because we was getting down like this for spring break too. But let's just see all of what's going on. These videos were posted by Sandy. So apparently she like puts together compilations of stuff that's trending. So check her out. The full video is in the description box. And she does have more than one video on this. This is actually the second one that I saw of hers. But people apparently are going to spring break in U-Hauls. Like, it ain't ever that serious. So let's just check some of these out. Ain't no way. Y'all, it ain't, I promise you, it ain't ever this serious. This looks so dangerous. It probably stank. I know it's somebody must in that crowd. It's no way it ain't. Especially it's hot. You standing out there, you sweating, y'all packed together like sardines. Ain't no way. It's just amazing to me that Houston was chosen as the destination. It is crazy.
Like, God damn! Oh, I'm not coming back here. They make their boots, bitch. I'm crying. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. What a way to start off a video. Oh my goodness. He done got maced.
I'm not going to here no more. I didn't know it was turning today. And it wasn't even me who made it. Ooh. Bitch, I was throwing up. Sister, I gagged. I ain't gonna lie. Bitch, no shade. I'm crying, boo. Bitch, they maced so bad.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is too fun. Y'all get maced? Oh my god, y'all. I've never been maced, but I was in a club one time. I will never forget this. Grad school, Hattiesburg. I went to Southern Miss. Y'all know, if you know, it was party central. I was in grad school and felt like an undergrad. That's how much partying they do down there. But I'll never forget, I was in this club and I was upstairs. You know, I was well connected there too. And I used to hang with, you know, I had a manager back then. I was making my content. I had my manager. He would give me sections. And so I'm upstairs and the people like were leaving, like the party was almost over. Like it was probably over. And people were leaving and they were like at the door and they got maced and it traveled all the way upstairs, had me choking and coughing. So I can only imagine what it felt like to be on the ground getting maced. Oh my goodness.
Bitch, I started throwing up in this section. Bitch, that mace was, oh, that mace ate me up. Bitch.
Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Okay, let's just see what other people saying. There was somebody watching.
I was extra, get wristbands, and I'm still out here waiting. I ain't getting no.
Oh yeah, so people apparently have been being scammed. This is crazy. This is so crazy. The Houston residents are mad. They want the people to leave.
Shit, y'all would think that the motherfucking party was outside the gas station. It's so motherfucking lit. It's so motherfucking packed. We are outside. Period.
Why would you go to spring break to post up at the gate? Like, you drove hours to Houston. You put on outfits, new makeup, hair, jewelry, shoes, gassed up the car, washed the car, probably bought liquor and stuff, getting lit to go to the gas station and stand around and look. Couldn't be me. It could not be me. I feel like gas stations are so dangerous. Like, again, I'm telling my age, whatever. When we were partying in college, parking lot pimping, whatever you want to call it, it was safer. Now people be shooting up gas stations like it's nothing. People shoot up at these large gatherings and crowds like it's nothing. I was just talking about this in the last episode because now teenagers are doing it, wreaking havoc across cities, especially in Atlanta. Now y'all want to go to Houston, and now the older people, these would be considered adults. Now y'all doing it? This is crazy. If y'all went to spring break in Houston, let me know. I've been on here almost 2 hours, so like I gotta wrap this thing up. It really ain't much more to say about that other than I just didn't know that Houston spring break was a thing. And I guess I can end on this note. Like, why can't we as a people, because the majority of the people that you see are Black folks. Let's just keep it real. The majority of the people that you see here are Black folks. And oh, how long has that been on my face? Oh my goodness. I'm over it now. I wish I could re-record, but I'm not. I hate that it was on my face and I didn't know. But anyway, most of the people you saw on there were young Black people, young Black able-bodied adults. You know, they clearly got money and funds to be able to go to Houston. And I'm just wondering, why can't we gather as a people like this for something positive or something productive? And then even just for safety reasons, why do you want to be out there like that? Like the crowd thing, that is so over with in 2026. Not just because of like physical safety reasons, because fights break out and stuff like that, but also sicknesses. Like during the pandemic, everybody was saying stay 6 feet away, and y'all were literally packed like sardines. Like people breathing on you, you know, the STDs are wilding. So why even just put yourself at risk for that? I understand wanting to have fun. Everybody deserves to unwind and have fun, enjoy life. We only get one life. But we do have to admit that we do a little bit too much of that and not enough of the things that count. And I'm sure many of those people out there were parents. I'm always going to bring it back to the parents because the kids are going crazy out there. The kids are wild and the kids can't read. But yet, all I see is grown folks and parents out having the times of their life. I'm always going to bring it back to, if you don't care enough to do it for yourself and your well-being, think about your kids in the future that they're going to have based on how engaged you are or not in the things that matter. We have to wake up. There's a awakening happening, but we still have a long way to go. And specifically for our community, we don't have time to play around. We are still fighting for the same things that we're fighting for when Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were alive. All of our civil rights icons are dying out. Who are they today? Who are our heroes today that are really fighting on behalf of our community? Because the conditions haven't changed. They're getting worse. So, you know, I always got to bring it back to the points, and I always got to keep it real. And it's fun to laugh or whatever, have our fun, but we got to get back to what's important. But yeah, that is all that I have for you all today. I hope that you enjoyed this show. I really, really enjoyed filming today. I had fun with this. I'm so happy to finally be in my groove. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. For those of you who have, thank you for engaging with the content. If you liked it, go ahead, give me a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next one, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.